Hello everyone, thanks for dropping by. If you go on sites like Quadra and Reddit and you look for questions about is MGTOW growing at all, most of the answers that you get from women and from simps seems to be that MGTOW is just a nothing, an irrelevant little movement that is just not affecting anything at all. Now, if MGTOW is so small, then why does the mainstream media keep launching attacks on MGTOW and slandering the philosophy of MGTOW? I found two sites over the weekend. This is one from a site called medium.com, and this is another one from a site called screenshotmedia.com. This one is essentially based in Britain, as you can read. Why is nobody talking about men's rights? Have we been distracted too much by MGTOW? Now, this was written on the September 20th, 2020. It's the first chapter. Have you heard of MGTOW movement? ? This is the, quote, toxic male misogynist separatist movement born about 20 years ago. That's the tone of the article. Now we're all toxic and we're misogynist and we're a separatist movement. They are afraid that women will accuse them of rape and sexual assault should they ever want to have sex with them. No. They also despise marriage, quoting the figure that about half end in divorce anyway, so why bother? That is a kernel of truth in it. The key to understanding why the movement is gaining ground is because many men are left embittered over costly divorces and also the struggles to gain child custody. That's about the only honest bit of this entire article. And then it goes on about Laura Bates's book that I mentioned in a previous video. And she visited schools and she was taken aback by the hostility, etc. Blah, blah, blah. And then it goes on about femicides, i.e. bastards who murder women. They're given this massive exposure of misogynistic violence. So we're violent towards women now. It is no wonder that femicides are on the increase worldwide. We have a network of terrorists. We're also terrorists now who are allowed free rein to preach and praise femicide, yet they are still allowed access to the internet. These are the seeds that become the weeds of rape culture and femicide, so now we're rapists as well. You might think that younger people are less likely to indulge in or troubled by sexual harassment in public. And then it goes on about the number of women that have been harassed in public, and then it goes on about the red pill. And it ends up, last paragraph, men and women have made unique and priceless contributions to our development as human beings. True. But most of human art has been aimed at women, which is done by men. All of human society and the breakthroughs in technology have been done by men, and a lot of that have men that aimed these inventions and the brain power aimed at women. For instance, it wasn't a woman who invented nylon, it was a man. Anyway, that's the British version. This is the American version, I think. It says, meet MGTOW, the online community of male separatists putting incels to shame. This was written by a lady called Mala Valka Pradeep, that's a Slavic name, and it was written on March 15th, 2021, or 14 weeks ago. Now, this article has a more conciliatory tone to it than the previous article, but still it's got elements of nastiness aimed at MGTOW. The internet is swamped with misogynistic clubs, cults and lifestyles collectively known as the manosphere. There again, the word misogynist, mobilizing as a supposed gynocentric conspiracy. This dark corner is dominated by incels, pick-up artists, and now with the Taliban, men going their own way. MGTOW or male separatists were not male separatists, we're just ordinary guys who have seen the effect of divorce on other guys, living according to their best interest in the world which they would rather they didn't. Not true. Also defined as common sense for men by its own website. The numbers in the community believe that the society is gynocentric, then piratical to begin with. And then it has an element of truth. The community is populated by heterosexual men who abstain from romantic relationships and blah blah blah, due to the awareness of the underlying legal structure which treats men unjustly. That's the female-friendly family courts. The rationale stated behind MGTOW, men's abstinence from marriage, cohabitation, long-term and short-term, are the perceived dangers of false accusations of sexual impropriety. Well, that is true. And then it goes on to cancel culture and divorce rate 72% initiated by women, which is true, and the risk of losing a substantial amount of assets and a future income in settlements are major factors back in MGTOW philosophies. As I said, this is more conciliatory. A firm belief in these philosophies has also led to the creation of MGTOW monks. No. There's no such thing as a MGTOW monk. There's just a guy who's a confirmed bachelor and he doesn't want to have sex with women. And then it goes on, our potential members have embraced the MGTOW ideology, taking the red pill about the matrix, level 1, level 2, blah blah blah. With columns like MGTOW dedicated to acknowledging contributions of fantastic commitments. If MGTOW is fire, perhaps feminism is gasoline. And then this bit is interesting. Feminism is a movement. True. Homosexual pride is a movement. To a degree. True. They rely heavily on arranged conferences. True. Loud organised parades shutting down traffic. True. Making a bloody nuisance of themselves. And gobs of wasteful state funding, that'll be Stonewall, but that's coming to an end. Plus masses of mainstream media coverage to give the false impression that homosexuals are a massive part of the human population, where it's only about 1%, maybe 2% at the most, and feminism is just women wanting to get attention. MGTOW thrives without any of that. Yes, MGTOW is an individual choice. A man can be MGTOW today, but tomorrow he meets a woman and he falls in love, and then he's no longer a MGTOW. But if she dumps him the day after, then he can go back to being a MGTOW. It's all up to the individual. MGTOW considers itself a population of individuals, that's what I just said, who are more than just an email address on the website. And then it goes on, the bit of a slanderous comments. MGTOW is intended for men and does not permit women to join. Well, of course, it can't be people going their own way. And then it goes on about Valentine's Day being a waste of history. I don't agree with that. Community further stops weddings via unregistered. Trademarks save a male and stop a wedding. Whatever. Why have a wife when you can have a life? Confirmed bachelors do that. MGTOW is said to be a lifestyle that sets back both men and women's liberation movement by 60%. Even with a suspended Twitter account, the community continues to foster a rabbit hole and then slanderous. And then we're back to Laura Bates' book. And final paragraph, for declaring feminism the biggest cultural failure of the last century. Yes, feminism has done an immense amount of damage to women, to impacting its own members and others around them, such as hate groups. There again is a slander, are undoubtedly making waves by red-pilling those who stumble across them. While men who hate women, that's her book again, makes a chilling read. It makes her reconsider the status of these toxic networks, slander again, as more than just an internet fringe. But anyway, this is a bit more conciliatory where is it now, than this. As I said at the beginning of this video, if we're such an insignificant little group, then why do these articles keep attacking us? Maybe we're too big to be ignored. But anyway, I just thought I'd bring these two articles to your attention, and naturally I'll put the links down below so you can have a proper read without me reading it over the internet. And I think MGTOW is going from strength to strength, and sooner or later something will have to be done to address the issues of women having too much say in today's society when it should be equality. That means men and women compromising each other and supporting each other. That's how nature intended. Right, I think this has gone on to the 10 minutes, so alright people, you know the routine. Like, dislike, comment, subscribe. It's completely up to you. So until the next one, that's it. Until Monday. Bye-bye.